Okay, I think we're just going to go ahead and start.
All right.
At 30 seconds early. I'd like to call the LaPorte County Park Board meeting in order. We have a roll call.
Amanda?
Here.
Jim?
Here.
Aaron? Brian?
Here.
Mary?
Here.
Ron?
Here.
And Mary Nell.
Here.
Okay, did everybody get a chance to review the agenda? Can I have a motion to accept the agenda?
So moved.
A second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. I have a discussion about the minutes. Anybody have any questions about the minutes? If not, can we have a motion to accept the minutes? So moved. And a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Any questions on the financial report?
I just always like to point out a few of the places where we're low. Obviously, it's May.
It's that time of the year.
Yeah, it's May, and we're already down to, next to nothing in building repair and maintenance and, postage because we buy stamps all at once. I mean, we're good on postage. One thing I would point out is our lease agreements. We're down to $200, and that's not typically been a problem in the past. But with internet, we've gotten. We struggled to have good internet over the last several years, so we did get a different internet service and Wi-Fi for the nature center and the office, and we had to start paying for our security system at the nature center because they won't do it without a contract anymore. So that was another cost that was added on to us. We can. It's not a horrible situation. We can use some non-reverting, or we can see if the council can help us out. That is one thing I will point out to the council each year is our lease agreement is too low now, and I have been pointing out, but they always say come back and ask if you need it. So that'll be something we'll probably end up doing in the next couple months.
If we track that, maybe we can get a little bump up.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll try.
Any other questions or comments on the financials? Can I hear a motion to accept the financials? I'll give a motion. And a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Jeremy, administrative report?
Just wanted to give a quick update on the shared bikeways revitalization project. We got that grant from the Healthcare Foundation last year to do to update that, make it virtual where they can download maps and get turn-by-turn directions and all that stuff. It was a struggle trying to find people during COVID to do the work. The highway department did volunteer to help us pull down some of the old signs. We did hire, we were planning on hiring 2, and we were only able to find one person that could only work a day or so a week because they had another job. So we do have all the signs down that we needed to take down, and he's got almost all of them done with the arrows and all the other stickers on those signs, and we should be starting to put those back up soon. And we're also working on getting kiosks for the 4 routes right at the beginning of the routes. So the cool thing about this is you're going to be able to go. If you have the Ride with GPS app, which is a free app, you'll be able to go up and scan the QR code, and it's automatically going to bring up that map. You can navigate on just like Google Maps or anything like that, and they can use that to ride these routes without, in case a sign gets hit by a car or a tree or something like that. So that it'll be a lot more user-friendly and up to date. So hopefully by summer we'll be pretty well done with that project, and we're going to do some big push to try to get people to know what that's all about, and have hopefully some prizes and things like that if people can use it. And so that's where we're at on that. Again, just like I mentioned on that, the seasonal hiring struggle, we've had our seasonal jobs open, maintenance jobs open for a month probably, and we had one application for 2 positions that we had open. Luckily, we had 2 people coming back. So we are hiring that one person. They should start. She had to give a 2-week notice for her other job, but so we're still going to be looking at for somebody for out at Red Mill 3 to 4 days a week. So if anybody knows anybody, or can help spread the word that we can't even get anybody to apply for it. So we are struggling on that. And then the security cameras that the council bought for us, almost all those are up. I don't want to say where's not up yet, but they're up and they are working. Just the other day we had an issue where the alarm went off here, and somehow the door didn't get locked all the way. So I came out, looked at the camera, and saw that a family came up and was like, no, pulled the door open and heard the alarm, shut the door, and walked away. So I mean, and they're working. They're very, very good and very high quality, and I think are going to be a big help, just in the future. So.
Okay. Any other questions on maintenance programs or park counts? Okay, hearing none, we will go to the standing committee reports. Executive committee does not have a report this month. Budget committee,
We don't have a report.
personnel committee,
Nope.
property committee. No. Okay, planning committee,
Nope.
and rules committee.
No.
Okay, good. Old business, I don't see any old business on the agenda. New business. Jeremy, do you want to talk about the
Yeah.
Healthcare Foundation grant?
Yeah, so we were awarded a grant from the Healthcare Foundation for $250,000 for a playground. That's for the playground and little surrounding area there at Bloom County Park. So that's going to be, we're starting the planning. We're in the middle of the planning process for that. We also are going to put in our park foundation is going to be paying for a restroom and septic. So we'll actually have flush restrooms there at the site. And then I go before the council this next month to get the official approval to pave the parking lot. So we'll have new paving, new restrooms, and a brand new accessible playground out there at Bloom, which is desperately needed. So wanted to thank everybody who's been involved with that, the county council, the park foundation, and the healthcare foundation of LaPorte. I'm going to pass around just plans for the restroom already. Pat Brown is here from Sitescapes. He's come up with a preliminary plan for the restroom just for you to look at. And that right now I'm working with Mary Sanders from Park Creation, who's done several projects for the county parks in the past. She's working on designing the playground and seeing what we can come up with there. I've picked out a few things and things that I think will want, and I'll probably get with the planning committee after we get kind of a preliminary design and see their thoughts and go from there. So I don't think there was anything I needed Pat to talk about on that.
The restroom, the intent is to basically mimic that, only with that new layout and design. And the intent is to build it in-house again.
Yeah.
So it'll look very similar. That way it's keeping the uniformity in the park, just like wood structures and brick buildings and everything else. So that's the intent.
Yeah. And it's kind of similar in design to the one that's already out there at Bloom too, and that's on the other side of the property by the New Durham Estates. But yeah, it'll have the siding, everything's going to be very similar to this one here. So so any questions? And like I said, I'll be getting with the planning committee soon on the playground once we kind of start getting some preliminary drawings and going from there. it's exciting, you know. Bloom, it's very busy property already. It's lots of people, and even the surveyor was out there taking elevations for us, and for the county surveyor, and she emailed me and said, "Man, what a nice place," and I couldn't believe how many people were there. The wind was blowing 40 miles an hour, and there were just people coming and walking and riding their bikes, and so this is just going to make Bloom even more popular. So
Absolutely.
go
Want
ahead.
to talk about the master plan at this point?
Yeah, so I'm gonna ask Pat to talk about that.
When Jeremy called me up and said, hey, we got some projects at Bloom we want to talk to you about, and he went through all 3 projects, and I'm thinking of his time, the staff, it's like, how are we gonna do the master plan? And then I asked a question, I said, are you gonna be applying for a grant come next January or February? He says, probably not, because we're gonna have too much on our plate. And I said, well, let's delay the master plan a year. Why rush it and try and cram it in with everything else and lose a year of eligibility? So the recommendation is that let's just delay the master plan. Jeremy and his staff can just do a 1-year update, so you can see what's planned for the year and the budget, how that impacts, just like it was part of the 5th year of the plan. So it's like doing a 6th year on the action plan and budget. And then we start the master plan process a year from now and basically focus on Bloom this year. So my proposal that you approved for the master plan, we're gonna just pull that back, and then we have a new proposal submitted for the 3 projects at Bloom. So that's after Jeremy and I talked, it just seemed to make a lot of sense that, I mean, we can't do everything because we're not gonna do everything well. So let's focus on Bloom and get that done, and let's save the year of eligibility to the master plan next year. So,
because the only thing we have to have that master plan for, I absolutely want to have a active master plan always, but the only thing we have to have that for is a DNR
land and water
grant, not even the trails,
So
the recreational
RTP
trails.
recreational trails, you do not need a master plan for. So it's only the land and water grant right now that they require it. And Jeremy says, we probably won't be doing the land and water grant come next January when we have to submit.
Yeah, because
So if that's the situation, it's like, let's just save that extra year of eligibility, get a full 5 years out and do it next year.
So we'd basically be extending the existing 5-year plan, so we're still
Yeah.
have an active plan.
yeah, so
in the eyes of
the action plan is kind of what your hopes are in the next year. So within the next year, so I can sit down with the staff, the maintenance staff, and then Nikki and blanking here, but her staff, our staff for the education staff, and get our action plan together, so we have that game plan for the next year, and a lot of that is going to be Bloom's improvements, and then what kind of programming and stuff they're going to be doing here. So we will have that roadmap for this coming year, and then we'll work on, and next year actually it'd be, because the master plan then wouldn't go into place until 2023.
Right. So you're doing an action plan for, because you already have the one for 21.
Right.
So you're doing just a 1-year extension for 2022 for planning and for budget purposes.
Yeah.
And then we kick in at 2023 with the new 5-year plan to get 5 years of eligibility for land and water.
Makes sense to me.
Any discussion or concerns, let me know.
Do we need a motion or something?
We need a motion.
Yeah.
We have a motion to extend the master plan for 1 year, developing the master plan, updating the master plan for 1 year. So moved. And a second.
second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it.
How many of those have you done so far?
Pardon?
How many 5-year plans have you done so far?
For this department,
This is my 41st year, so I've been doing parks for 40 years. I've probably done literally 40 or 50 plans.
How about, just for here?
Just for LaPorte County,
Maybe 4 or 5.
at least 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Because I started back with Ken, superintendent, before Tim.
Yes.
Yeah, probably at least 4 or 5 maybe.
Yeah. I got the most seniority.
Yes, you have. Okay, any,
I have a question on the Bloom plans in general.
Sure.
I expect that we will get even more people coming out there. Any plans with like reconfiguring parking?
So we talked about that. Where that parking lot is, there's not a lot of
No, there,
Space.
we can extend it by 20 feet and get another row of parking. But Jeremy just shared with me what's required on the septic system, so I gotta see how that's gonna fit, because that's gonna fit, basically, if you wanna go in one area.
Yeah.
So if we can expand the parking, and what we may do is just take an alternate and see what that would get a cost. And if it's something that's cost effective, and we can find a way to pay for it, maybe it's worth expending it.
I know there's a lot of space, it seems, in the middle, but I don't know if it can be.
Yeah, and I think there's, are we able to park any in the middle right now or not?
Yeah, you have
So-
three rows of parking.
So the
I
way,
didn't realize.
when it gets paved, we're gonna have it lined,
Okay.
so you're gonna have,
See that now.
What
you
we
know.
like to do is in the middle, have a double row.
Yes.
So you have parking on the outside, an aisle, and a double row.
kind of like this one
Yeah.
here.
Okay, yeah,
So, but right now, you just got parking on each side and one in the middle.
yeah, okay, thanks.
And now, you'll never see anybody parking in the middle.
No.
Because it's gravel, you can't see anything, but once the lines are there, you're gonna have more parking available because people will be able to see that. But
Very good, thank you.
It'd be a shame if you run out of parking, there's so many people there.
yeah.
I look forward to that.
Yeah, and that's something else we talked about is future, are we thinking another shelter? Are we thinking, it's like, well, unless we can somehow get more parking, I don't see that we can do that right there, right now. Now, we could probably come up with some down the hill, maybe over where the horse parking is, if we can configure that some. I mean, so there is some future
That's for the 5 years.
possibility. Yeah. There's some future possibility there, but,
okay. Any public comment?
there's one more thing there under new business.
It isn't in ours.
And that is, what's that?
It's not in our agenda.
Okay.
I don't have anything there either.
It was consulting services for agreement for Bloom design
Oh,
work.
I remember that.
And it's the last, so I don't know if the ones that got printed off were an old one.
Yes.
Sorry
Can I
about
have a motion
that.
to add something to the
Yeah.
agenda? Add the consulting service agreement to the agenda, and we do have that on here on the last page.
Yeah,
So we
it
need
was,
to add that on the agenda.
Yeah.
Is that a motion? And a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Okay.
Ayes have it. Yeah, we are-
sorry about that. So you look at that, and that's again from Pat Brown. And that's for basically all the design work for the restroom, the parking lot, and the playground. So he's got it divided up there into each one, what that cost is. Total cost is $9,400. Restroom is $3,200, parking lot $2,750, and playground $3,450. Again, Pat's been working with us, knows the parks really well, so he's got a lot of the drawings and elevations and all that stuff before we even get started. So
He has a good handle on the
Yes.
culture here and what we've got going, so.
yeah.
Anybody have any questions on the agreement? Okay, if I don't hear any questions or discussion, can I have a motion to accept the agreement as written?
So moved.
And a second? All in favor?
Okay.
Ayes have it. Now we can go on to the public.
Sorry about
That's
that.
all right.
Somehow those must have got
I
printed
remember
off
seeing that
before.
on the one that was.
That was sent out.
Online.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it just didn't quite register that it wasn't
Yeah.
here. Okay, any public comment?
Hey everyone, so want to thank all of you for your efforts here with the parks as we come into spring. Also say I've been working with Jeremy here. We've got some of the ARP money that's been coming in. I know as you mentioned earlier, building funds are getting low. So I asked him to come up with a list of some things, and he may be working on a couple others, but we've got some good ideas here where we can hopefully direct some of that money. Some of it can be spent on infrastructure. I'd like to see some of it get to a couple of the needs here in the park to kind of refresh a few things and whatnot, and take it from there. So if y'all have any other ideas as well as some things we may be able to look at for that,
Okay.
appreciate it. So,
Very good, thank you.
do you have any questions or concerns for the commission?
I do not. It's nice to have a supportive commission.
Thank
It really
you.
is. And we see that more now than we probably ever have in the distant past at any rate. Very good. Very
Thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any other public comment? Okay, board and staff comments. Hearing none, may I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I will motion to adjourn.
How about a second? All in favor?
Aye.
And the ayes have it, we are adjourned.
Next meeting is June 1st, and that'll be indoors. At Red Mill.
Will you have air conditioning, because we may need it.
Yeah.